Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Smite Pro League. Gandhi joined by Dry Bear. Dry Bear, everything's concluded in Europe. It is now time to go to our little homeland of North America.
Rest in peace. Europe SPL has concluded. The last matches have been played, but we still have a lot to look forward to in North America. We have Chunks versus Thurst here, and it's going to be their last game played. And of course, we're looking to see if Chunks can continue on with the momentum they've been building the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you know, Chunks has been looking really good in all of their games.
They have.
Yeah, they've had one problem though, and that problem is their inability to close a game, which I think a lot of teams struggle outside of like the top 3 teams in each region.
Right. Well, something we saw a little bit earlier today, where you get ahead, and instead of buying your next item, buy a ton of wards. Get aggressive, get in their face, start taking their jungle buff, start taking their gold fury, go for that invasion, go for the kill, get the first blood. If you're getting aggressive, you can push the other team down instead of just hoping that you can climb higher than they ever can.
Yeah, it's very true. Well, taking a look here, that's going to be a Nemesis ban as well as a Thanatos. On the Thirst side of things, Mercury gone, Freya gone.
Mercury gone, Freya gone, Thanatos gone.
Nemesis
banned. Geb going to be first pick.
It's so weird that like Geb gets through. But if you're gonna,
well, here's the thing,
if you're gonna target ban someone, whatever, right? Like at least just grab Geb first, which is what we saw.
Well, you got it. The Paul's still available. You still got Ram available. You've still got Cirquette available. The question is, what will they go for? Ra's going to be pretty heavily valued here by Thirst. They're going to be hovering on Apollo for Recon to see if Recon wants to play that character. Looks like it will be the case. Back over to Fat Chunks. They've got 2 more selections to make before the banning phase will come back around for the second time. The question is, will they pick up something like a mid or solo? Loki hovered on here. Now, if it were any other team, I would say it's going to be a solo, but with Unique on Fat Chunks, it's got to be jungle.
Yeah, you never know what it could be. Yeah, it could be a jungle. Hell, it
Unique's
could be
so
it
good
could be their
Loki,
hunter. Yeah, I know, but you could see it like you could see
Sandra
be like,
It is Chunks.
Yeah, Sandra would be like, oh well, hunter.
It's our Loki Guardian.
The old Peckies meta.
Oh boy.
Samshu's got probably the widest god pool.
Right. Well, you see this Nuwa, and that could be a hunter Nuwa. I mean, he runs more mages in that role than anyone else. And he's run Hunter Nuwa before, Hunter Aphrodite before, actually twice, so I should say before. Chronos banned out here. This is going to be a shot at Fusion. Actually, also Osmos. Osmos plays a lot of Chronos himself. Thor going to be picked up, so it's like, hey, you take away Thanatos, I guess I'll play Thor.
Well, the big thing with Thirst and Thor is the fact that Wolfie has this tendency of... I know, you're happy about Scylla. Relax. Wolfie has this tendency of just, like, ulting randomly and not working with his team. I think he gets a little bit of tunnel vision. He's just like, I gotta go! And then he dies.
Tries to get the kill, but we're going to see a Kali and Scylla locked in for Fat Chunks. See, if this were any other team, I'd be excited for this lineup. You're going to put Kali in the soul lane, or Loki in the jungle, Nuwa, Kali in the hunter, and the...
Okay. Nuwa, hunter. Scylla mid, Loki solo.
You know what? It's Chunks. Hunter, Scylla, solo Kali, mid Nuwa, jungle Loki, and of course Geb. Now we have seen Hunter.
Imagine it's just like a mid Geb.
We did see a long lane Scylla this week from Dignitas. It didn't work. It was very difficult for Scylla to keep up. Could not keep the gold gain they needed. Of course, it was Xing playing that Scylla, and it's great to have that free farm, but you're sharing it with Geb for a long time, and eventually you come to mid-game, you're like, why aren't you leveled up? And just general overview for MOBAs, you put mages in the solo lanes, the mid and the solo, because they gain more experience, because mages benefit greatly from having high levels of their abilities, because their base damages scale quickly. So when you put a mage into a long lane like they're about to, you lose on the experience factor, and you're basically playing for late game, which makes it very difficult.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to watch Thirst take on Fat Chunks. Rory, I'm going to put you on the hot seat here, buddy. Who are you taking in this one?
You know, I'm going to take... I want to take Chunks, and I think they have a better late game team. And I think I'm actually going to take Chunks for this one, just because the lineup for Thirst is not conducive to a strong late game. Because if Thirst falls behind here, they're not going to have the oomph that they need, right? Thor generally not very good from behind. Ares just awful from behind. His low mobility means that he's easily caught out. Ra, again, low amounts of damage, and Junkwei doesn't have enough to bring to the table. So I think if Chunks can get ahead early, they can make a huge splash here. Now, you look at the lineup for Chunks. Cyclone Spin in the solo lane with Kali, starting with that short bow. I think he's going for that very awesome but very new style of oboe or Odysseus bow in the solo lane for Kali. Means that her fast hit chain allows her to proc multiple times, clear the wave out, and makes her very good at the solo lane.
Well, the one thing that is difficult here, in case you guys are brand new to the SPL, is that Thurst has had probably one of the shakiest years, period. They've only won one game in the SPL. Part of it's really due to the fact that they haven't had a consistent roster at all.
Yeah, they've been losing a lot of players coming in and out of the scene, and it makes it difficult for them to really buy any consistency. Now, the first match that Thurst has ever played, they won. They have not won a single match since their debut into the SPL. So if they win this, that means that they've won their first and their last match, making the first SPL sandwich.
Yep. It's a pretty big time gap, my man.
Well, it's win bread and lost meat.
Yeah. Well, Sam Shrew, the Hunter Scylla, is going to be hanging out with Geb there. They're going to just be able to farm that lane up. Meanwhile, all eyes on the right side of things here as Osmos and Wolfie will be working together at the beginning. Traditionally to about a minute 30, then we see the rotation come out of their dry bear.
Look for that crush, though. One thing that's really weird about the Scylla in that lane as well is Scylla generally has a very weak laning phase, and so the push is going to be that much slower given the fact that she's not getting solo experience. Damage in the right lane will come out from that decoy. Unique is going to be assisting in that one. Chunks are going to be slow in the solo lane as well with Kali, but again, they have a lot of damage potential, and I think what's also going to be helpful for Chunks is that Kali ultimate, the destruction, means that she's going to be very safe in a lot of these burst style ultimates.
Well, Kali, you know, the thing about Kali is that we could see a lot of people just get like really zoned in, like, oh, I gotta get my target. Oh, wait, hold the phone. Thor could. Oh no, he barely missed it. Wolfie just coming a little bit behind Hurrywin, couldn't let that go. He could right now theoretically Tectonic Rift, but wow, Hurrywin doing a lot of damages there with the new.
Sam Shear is actually going to be going into 2 levels of Crush and 1 into Sentinel. Just make sure he has the ability to teleport away. That's one benefit they're going to have from having Syl in the long lane, is that she can actually Sentinel away at any point in time. Yep.
Now they're kind of waiting, but eyes on Wolfie. Wolfie could theoretically go on this. He's going to hide on the Gold Fury, and what he is going to be doing, he's going to wait for his teammates to let the opposition push, but they're not going to push, so he's going to run right into a Loki here.
Not a whole lot of aggression coming out from Osmos in the solo lane. I'm surprised. I think this is an opportunity for him to really use his healing and protection gains from his Demon Bag and his Exorcism to really poke Cyclone Spin out of the wave, but he's not really getting any aggression out. Even with the Book of Demons, without using it, you have a double auto attack coming out as the book swings with you. So I think there's an opportunity here for Osmos to get a lot more aggressive.
Well, the 320 Harpies are going to be up. Keep in mind, these spawn up, and they do the most experience in the game.
Wow, they're going to bring it down. New ultimate in response to Thor landing on the ground. Hurwin's got nowhere to go, and he's going the opposite way of his tower, and he's going to feel some searing pain as the light comes on through and blinds him, and he will be going back to the base as the victim of first blood for Thurst, finding a good early start.
It's not every day that you see Thurst actually get going early on. Now, also, really important to note here is El Brochacho has been missing a lot of games. He misses every single Friday match due to work. And he's playing Ares, which he's been playing a lot of during ranked play. And he said, you know, people just don't really expect how much damage Ares truly does.
They never do, and that's the thing. That's what Ares brings to the table. He doesn't have a whole lot of peel. He doesn't have a whole lot of control. He doesn't have a whole lot of influence. But what he does do is he reduces crowd control for everyone who is inside of his bolstered defenses. He also gives you a little bit of boost and protections and has a ton of damage. You see Aurora taking a bunch right now. Interruption will make that go lower. There's I'm a monster coming out. The pole prevents it from going, and he Sentinel. Okay. That was a huge mistake.
Brochacho OP!
Well, no, the biggest thing there is that, you know, he knew the Ares ultimate was on him, and so he decided to Sentinel before the ultimate pulled him. Sentineled out, pulled back, nothing he could do. I could see the idea, right? He's trying to Sentinel forth and try to get it done before he pulls him back because he may not be able to get close enough again. So he's like, my window is closing, I have to do this now, but the timing was just poor.
Yep. Well, taking a look here, it looks like Kali, a.k.a. Cyclone Spin, will not be rushing into the oboe. Looks like he's going to go ahead and get the boots, and then we'll see that next, unless you believe that this is actually a good level 1 item that you can just like kind of hold on, kind of like the tiny trinket.
We'll see. I mean, he may even be going to Ichaival. I think that also works pretty well for Kali. And given the fact that he had that fast attack chain, attack speed really bolsters it up a lot. Then again, the oboe is so powerful in the solo lane for Kali. Currently sitting on a very powerful Kali. It's going to be having 784 gold in hand for herself. We'll see what he decides to go back to, if he ever decides to go back shortly. Going out the way very effectively. Doesn't seem like he's in a whole lot of pressure.
He's not getting pressured at all.
Unique, left side looking for a recon. There goes the ultimate. Nope, going to let this one slide.
Yep, he's just going to hang out, man. Samshire and Aurora just doing their thing. Recon, who, this has been the big thing with Thurst, right? Thurst is like, okay, yeah, we have Wolfie. He's consistent. We have Fusion. He's consistent. But everyone else has just been all a toss-up.
Yeah.
And they were running with Astro for a while, and now they're like, okay, Recon, you're caught up to the big leagues.
Recon is starting to do pretty well. I mean, you look at the gold right now, 3,400 for him. You're going to be looking across the way. You're going to be finding the enemy Hunter at 3,300. Hunter with an asterisk, of course, and he's going to be locking that in. So, early on, it seems like both Hunters are locked in. Chains coming out from El Bochacho, but the Sentinel will keep her safe. Rotation to the mid camps as they are spawning back up. But in the area is Thor looking for the dunk, going to find it. Pop the Purification Beads, has a Sentinel available. I don't see.
Great job.
Oh.
I'm a Monster's going to be there, and she's just going to be taken out right before that even happens. But eyes on Thurst. Thurst were able to get that left and right heartbeat, so they got at least a little bit of the experience difference there, as now we are going to see Aurora rotate back in, try to protect his tower. But other than that, as you take a look at Osmos taking on Cyclone Spin, Zhang Kui should kind of be getting the better of Cyclone, especially if it's not the target.
But it also comes down to how long you're in the lane. 100 gold difference between the two of them. Doesn't seem like Cyclone Spin's feeling the pressure too much. It was a wonderful wall on the left side to lock in Samshrew. And, it's hard enough to be a Scylla in a 2v2 lane, but it's even harder to be a Scylla who gives up a kill. And so now eyes are on Samshrew to try and recover that gold gain and see if he can't make this work.
I almost wonder what he has to essentially wait until basically 15 minutes. He needs a Bancrofts online at least to start doing power, because the biggest thing about Scylla is that he's just so weak. He's just so weak early game.
Well, I wouldn't go for Bancrofts here. I think it would be a better choice just to go for the stacking item and get that Book of Thoth online. Since you're stuck in the lane anyway, you may as well use the opportunity to farm up. There's ultimate coming out from Aurora, slowing down the initiation. Big burst from Heroin, looking for the kill, gonna find it. Unique is there. New ultimate in response, looking for Aurora, gonna find some damage here. Should be able to pick this one up. There goes the Berserker Barrage, but landing down is Recon. It's a big turnaround fight. 4 versus 4, rotation from the Soul Lane. Here comes Heroin and Cyclone Spin. He's got ultimate active. Who is his target is the question. He's gonna be looking for a jump in here, gonna find Recon. There's I'm a Monster, damage on top, and it's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Chunks.
Now the question is, nope, they don't want any.
No chance.
They don't want to look at it. Cyclone Spitch is going to now go ahead and push. So good win there, big win.
Easy enough. I mean, they rotated.
Tides of change.
I think Thurst just got too greedy there. There goes the ultimate, coming back around. Does have destruction available. Looking for the kill on Cyclone Spin. There's the explosion. Osmos dropping low. The new WA damage. You got to look for it.
Yep, you got to. And, Searing Pain is not online yet. Unique actually going to get caught by El Brochacho. There's not going to be enough damage or a follow-up there, and Brochacho might get caught. He's going to get thrown out. Uh-oh, here comes Wolfie, though. Wolfie's able to get one. Cyclone Spin's going to get locked up. No escape is going to bring him in, and this should result in 2 kills. The Cyclone Spin's still able to stay alive right now. Finally, he's going to be dead. Wolfie getting the trip trap.
So they're going to go over to the Gold Fury here, and all they have left is their Hunter Scylla looking for the damage. Not going to find it. Sikkim won't come out. And, given the fact that Scylla is just sitting on boots, I don't think that she's going to have enough to take this down. Samshrew is forced out of the fight by Wolfie. That was a beautiful play by Brochacho, getting there and get that no escape on top and really pulling them all into one place. Greedy play by Cyclone Spin, jumping into the fight 4v1 instead of using that nimble strike to dash away and get out of the fight. So I think he was looking for his target, but he switched. See, my thought, right, is that he was looking for the heal from the nimble strike, which when you land on someone, it heals her for the amount of HP they're missing, which they were pretty low. He could have healed himself up, and it seemed to me like his target was Fusion, because that's who he was targeting. But then at some point, he just switched over to Osmos, which makes me think he didn't have a target at all.
Maybe he didn't. It couldn't have been in the game. I mean, normally you see the bait, right? You're like, oh, I'm going for this guy. This is my target. And then they switch off. But that just wasn't the case here. So, I don't know. Well, anyways, back into a little bit of the laning here, as we are going to see Sam should go ahead and grab this blue buff with the help of Aurora. And this is going to be Cyclone Spin grabbing one as well.
Well, they're going to be going for the blue buff. Not a whole lot of aggression after that gain that Thurst had. Of course, they got the gold Fury. They're running over to the mid camps. Unique is there. Going to put a ward down on the ground. They'll see him, and they'll head on out. Heroin will be going on home. Left side looking for the damage on Reek. Going to find something. Looking for the ultimate. Going to find it. Big damage, big burst, big kill. And Samshrew with the control taking out Recon. Now, again, when Crush is maximized on Scylla, max points put into it, it gives you an AoE of protection debuff. 25% of the magic protections are reduced while you're standing inside the Crush. So what Samshrew did there, with the help of Geb, was pop the Crush on the ground, get the slow, get the root, pop the ultimate, hit the ultimate so that they get the magic protection reduction from the Crush, and then right when Iron Monster was finished, pop the Crush for additional damage. Very efficient usage of the abilities.
Loki now, looking for someone here, and that's the thing, right? Loki hasn't really done a whole bunch in this game. Normally we see him just be a monster, but he's just 1-1-1. He's got the Bombas, he's got tier 3 boots, but why would you not rush a Heartseeker here?
I think he's just not worrying too much about it. Heroin avoiding the ultimate from Ra there. I think he is looking to just get a safe lead, right? Because he realizes that if Chunks go onto the dunk from Wolfie, gonna find Heroin, look for the ultimate, not gonna find it. Unique will get the kill there, and Fusion has nothing left to give. But
see, that's the exact Wolfie ult that I was talking about before, where he's just like
kill.
He just gets like in this zone where it's like, screw it, I'm going in, guys, and there was no follow-up there. They could have easily worked together in that scenario and taken out and gotten another killer.
Well, you're looking at it right, and you do want to shut down Heroin. I mean, he's doing really well. New Wall ultimate, the higher he gets, the more damaging he will become. But then you're looking at 7-0 Thor that just gave away his life and went 7-1 just to give it. Left side chains on top, purification beads, break the cripple, and Sentinel away. Samshrew still standing.
And Cyclone, finally, we're starting to see Osmo start to bully Cyclone Spin out of this lane, as he should. He's got a lot of sustain.
He does.
And he's got the stun. He should be able to just crush him.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise here. There should be going into a Warlock Slash. There's always those weird instances where we see the E-Staff, but should be Warlocks.
I'm very surprised to see him start with the short bow and not do anything with it early. Obviously, there's a lot of options for him. He can go to the elbow. He can get all kinds of gains from it. Samshrew just barely getting away. The chains will tick down, and that will be it. Unique going up and getting body blocked and getting dead.
Yeah, and look at this. The slow rotation coming out of Heroin here. And all of a sudden, Thurst, who is a team who only has one win, looks to be a very commanding lead here versus the Fat Chunks. Taking a look at the charts here. Wow. Was not expecting all that. 4,800 XP difference, 3,000 gold difference, all in favor of Thurst.
6,900 player damage dealt by Wolfie. You can see second place will go to Osmos at 5,300. A lot being contributed here. You can even see that Ares is at 3,200. So Ares is actually beating Ra, Loki, and Apollo as far as damage dealt. That's the power of Ares, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at the itemization, looks like we're going to see Samshrew going for that Book of Thoth. I respect the choice. I think it's an important time for him to start stacking this up and get it complete. But again, since he is sharing his golden experience, it's going to make him a little bit slower on the uptick on that one. Big damage approach. Does he have a purification piece to pop it? He does actually avoid that one. It looks like he'll be heading over a Roar looking for the putt.
Oh, nice little combat blink there, buddy. Oh, man. Aurora actually is going to hit him with the Cataclysm himself. Brochacho, he's in a bad spot. He's going to be taken up there. There's going to be one. Wolfie's going to come in. Berserker Barrage. Wolfie is having the game of his life right now. He is 8-1-1. He is looking for the second win. Wolfie, can he find his 9th kill? Aurora just trying to live that rock life. And he's still alive.
Whoa, big damage. Did he actually have the fumes available or the fog? Looks like he did. Didn't go for it on that one. Trying to get the kill, but looks like he's just backing off a little bit early. I think Herwin had a chance to get a double there.
He could have. And, you know, Samshrew decided to get in that fight, right? And so, you know, you got the Sentinels to kind of get you in there, but, like, she should have just stayed in lane and farmed the entire thing.
There wasn't much to gain.
The team was perfectly fine on her own, but that's the thing about the hunter position, man. You have to pick your battles so wisely.
You really do. Well, picking your wards is a big thing here for Aurora. He's got 7 plays down so far. You see second, third is going to be going to Osmos and Brochacho. 5 wards placed for their name, and then 4 will come out from mid and solo there. So you can see a lot of vision coming out from Chunks. It's something that they're keeping an eye on, but if you're keeping an eye on anything, you should be keeping an eye on the gold numbers. 4,000 is what Thurst is boasting over Chunks with 7,500 experience to boot, and that is a really tough look if you're Fat Chunks assemble.
Well, Samshrew's going to go ahead and just clear out that wave in the mid. could see something here. Fusion OP. He's got the bleed on him, but doesn't matter. The power of Ra is insane. Celestial Beam clears those waves so fast. And Wolfie, I think he might actually get Shifter Shield online here relatively soon. That is going to be very hard to deal with, especially at 16 minutes.
Well, I mean, you're going to see a Loki and you're going to see a Kali, and so those two are going to have a very difficult time with that Shifter Shield activated. Then you do have a lot of magical damage from Nuwa and Scylla, and I think that even if Thurst gets an early game here, there's still a lot of potent damage on the side of Chunks. You got Scylla and Nuwa scale incredibly well in the late game. Kali has one of the few gods in the game that her late game graph only goes up. She doesn't ever get worse. She's always getting better as the game goes on. Kali becomes incredibly scary if you're looking at a late game situation.
Well, the Chunks have no ward coverage over on their side by the Fire Giant.
Whirlwind.
Fusion OP might be able to get one. Yeah, he's done. Irwin's just going to get blown up there. Fusion OP burns the Searing Pain. But, you know, we still have the ultimate of Thor. He could always initiate a fight at any second here. And I think their eyes are starting to turn over here as Cyclone Spin's going to get stunned by Osmos. Osmos is trying to get out of here, and there's going to not be enough follow-up for him, so he's just going to go ahead and head back to the tower.
Mid-camp left side will die. Nice attempt at prediction there coming out from Fusion OP, looking for that shot. I think that, you know, Thurst is playing this properly. They have an early game team. They know they have an advantage. Nice wall on a Roar. Damage come out. Chains coming through as well. Roar when they use the ultimate there. There's the crush. I'm a monster. Gonna come miss on Wolfie, but will hit Brochacho. Ares ultimate. No escape. Gonna pull a Roar through the wall. There's the dunk coming out from Thor. Gonna come on down, killing off a Roar. Now looking for Samshire. The crush will come out doing minimal damage, but Unique will find Wolfie in the process. Nuwa ultimate just to add a little bit of insult to injury here as Ares goes back in.
Yep, Ares has one. Cyclone Spin's going to be there as well. Unique
Apollo
looking for it. And Apollo's going to come in. That's going to be Recon. Recon's going to be able to get one. Can he find the second one there? He wants Unique. Unique's going to be taken up by Fusion OP. Great Searing Pain. Cyclone Spin. Fusion OP, you're dead, buddy.
I don't see him escaping. There's the incense. There's the swing. There's the double kill for Cyclone Spin. The Goldfear is standing. They actually might have enough to take this with the lifesteal from Cyclone Spin. They're going to try. The minions are there. They're going to tank it up. I think they can do this.
Well, they don't. Neither of them have a hand, so they can tank this. And
Kali has 4.
Yeah,
he's 4 hands. The Goldfear is going to drop here. Looks like they will be successful in taking it. Osmos is running on over, and Roar will come up just to hog it, but that will take it down, and that's going to give them a little bit of boost. And they're still in deficit here against Thirst, but they're showing signs of life.
Well, Chins is going to be online now for Kali. But the Book of Thoth actually is what Scylla ended up building into, and she's already got herself a Tier 1 Magic Focus, which I'm not even sure what she's looking to build on that. Sam Shrew is his own person.
Okay, so he's looking for penetration, right? And this is pretty common for Scyllas. They'll go for the boots, they'll go for the book, and then they'll go for an obsidian shard. So imagine that what this is going to be, but Herwin in trouble here. And look at the damage that Brochacho's doing. He jumps in, grabs Herwin, drops him to 1/3 HP, even through the Geb shield.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising to see him grab like a Void Stone a little bit later on after he finished everything, because that's what he's all about. Every time he's in ranked, when he grabs Ares, he's just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to get a Void Stone next.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the numbers here, and you see 2,300 in favor of Thirst. 1,000 that comes from towers. You see 2 towers down, one on the left side, one on the right side for Chunks. So Thirst has that objective gain, right? There's been 1 goal free for both teams. That's all balanced out. So just pure gains for Thirst would be about 1,500 of just raw jungle camps, minions, not missing waves, and that kind of thing. So they're doing pretty efficient in that. Looks like Obsidian Shard will be coming out for Herwind as well in the mid lane on that new wall. And so far, you know, Chunks is starting to gain some damage. I think Thirst really needs to start to put more aggression onto Chunks because their late game team is not as strong.
Yeah, well, also on top of that, Thirst is just really going to have a humongous tanky monster in Osmos here as soon as that E-Staff's going to be finished up here. And that's going to be big for them.
There's the explosion. Gonna clear out the wave in the mid lane. Herwin throws out that mysterious fog. Rolling on through. Right side looks like it might be looking for a kill here. Osmos forced back to the tower. Cyclone Spin finished off the chin size. The question is he going to buy an oboe?
I hope so. I think we've only seen 1 in professional play.
Well, I could go for a second one.
I could go for a second one. Or he might just leave it there.
Oh, the Ghosts are doing a lot of damage here. He has his ultimate available, but Osmos needs to get out of the fight. New Wall's coming through as well. There goes the hit. Cyclone Spin actually didn't get the kill for that because of the New Wall ultimate kill steal. And Cyclone Spin sitting at a very low amount of HP.
Yeah.
Oh, Apollo. Running. Oh, no, I thought it was flying. I'm wrong. Shut up, driver.
What the?
He was going fast because he dashed out of the well, so I thought he got up onto his horse and flew and thought he was going to.
Yeah, sure. He didn't. He's left it as a tier 1. I don't understand, Cyclone Spin. Explain to me your build. Explain it to me, Dry Bear. You're supposed to be the intelligent one.
I see. Here's the thing. He's got attack speed out of it, which helps his attack chain. So attack speed is pretty effective for a character like Kali, given the fact that since your attacks are so short, it makes it even more effective to have them available. So I can see him picking up the attack speed early just to make sure that he's always just procking through, but there's nothing really to proc from. So maybe the whole idea here is the synergy between the chins and then the little bit of attack speed to make his attacks come out faster. So 15% attack speed from the bow, plus 9% from the top E, plus 25% from the chins. I mean, he's near cap already just with that cheap item. Wolfie in trouble though. Assassinate come through, looking for the fall. Can't find it because of the heal from Ra. And
Unique might die from this. He's going to be very careful. The Geb shield's already down. They know that. The slow that was applied from Ra on the Unique. Unique was just almost looked like he was crippled.
I think another thing here for Kali is that, you're at that point where you need lifesteal, and so he's going to go into Aussie. Just to make sure he has a little bit of lifesteal, keep himself alive, transition between the ultimate. So, yeah, I could see this working.
Cyclone Spin hanging out. He's got 2 people in his lane, so he does have to be a little bit careful about that. Now, this draining blade that Cyclone Spin got, well, what's he looking to do with this?
Just lifesteal. I mean, lifesteal and penetration. He's got penetration from the boots. He's got penetration from the pass. Now, he still could move this into something else, but, I imagine an Aussie would be coming out from this. Unique actually running over. There goes the hit. There goes the hammer. There goes the damage falling up. He's going to be forced out of the fight.
Yeah. Burned a lot there, Wolfie did, and Wolfie's been quiet for a little bit. For the past couple minutes, he went from ulting in on every team fight and just basically initiating whenever he wanted to now really starting to slow down. He could go in here on Cyclone Spin. Osmos does not have eyes on him, but we haven't really seen Wolfie go ahead and gank a lane. And as tanky as he is right now as Thor, he could have no problem diving Aurora and Heroine right here in the mid lane.
Look at Recon shooting at the Gold Fury already. He's going to back off a little bit. Looks like he's looking to solo this for his team. Though there is vision on the bottoms of the Gold Fury, they won't see him doing it. It's the rotation from Brochacho and Fusion may be looking at a quick Gold Fury. Ooh, Heroine was about to back there, saw them around the Gold Fury and decided to cancel it. So maybe they're really looking to defend it.
They might just be baiting this as well. They got the left Harpies coming up as well. Taking a look at the charts here, 6,000 XP difference, 2,300 gold difference. This next team fight's going to be huge, to say the least.
Brochacho looking for the ultimate, going to find one, actually. Looking for the pull, can't find it. Damage from Aurora, slowing him down. Cyclone Spin's in the fight. There goes the incense. There goes the lash. Looking for the follow-up. There's the ultimate. Going to find the kill there. That was his target, actually. Apollo's looking for the dunk. Recon landing in. There goes the landing. Looking for Fusion. Fusion drop below. I'm a monster. Going to find the kill. Can he get another one? He's looking for it. Can he find it here? Get a miss on that one. But the fight continues.
Yep. Osmos has one. Card going down on Samstrew. He's going to chase him down. He's trying to get the stun on. The Geb shield's going to be there as well. Up. Unique going to be there. So that's going to be a lot of damage. Oh, surprise. Hello, Wolfie. Pleasant of you to join. He's going to find 2 there, and now he's going to be chasing 1. He's got Recon up here. Cyclone Spin. You are next, buddy. Wolfie's chasing you down. Oh, he's got 2. This is going to be a quadra. Watch it. Well, unofficial. Watch it.
The ultimate available. Heroine still sticking around for some reason.
He's crazy.
Wolfie's going for Unique's not even coming over to help. Heroine's by himself. There's the hammer. There's the spin to win.
Got it.
Again, no assistance from Unique. I don't know why Heroine stood there. I mean, this is a lot of lazy backing / questionable calls.
Yeah, what I do know is that Wolfie is 13-2, and I can only imagine the player damage. He's got 13,000 player damage as well, which actually is kind of surprising just because, Osmos also has almost 12,000. So,
yeah, I mean, 16,000 there for Cyclone Spin, 17.6 for Heroine. A lot of AoE damage. Even you see Samstrew 4th place with 12,000, nearly tying Wolfie for damage dealt with that Scylla in the long lane. At this point, the lanes didn't matter. You now have a fairly strong fed Scylla. You have a very strong Heroine there on Nuwa. You got late game damage coming out from the Kali and the Loki. I think the main thing for Chunks here, and they really need to kind of embody this as part of their team philosophy, is that they need a strong initiation to allow Loki and Kali to do their thing.
Yep. Well, Brochacho just trying to harass this Geb, and Geb's like, dude, I really don't want to be bothered by you right now.
Hey, Roar, what you doing? Hey, Roar. Hey, Ro, what you doing?
Yeah. On the left side of things, though, Samshrew has a guy in front of him. That's going to be Unique. Unique's going to be in a little bit of trouble. He can't go invisible at any time. I Am a Monster's going to be sparked up there, and Samshrew has to pull it. Nice. He is going to get one. Can he find a second one? It's going to be Osmos hanging out. Oh, that's a lot lined up. Oh, the crush is there. Oh, come on, buddy. Do the damage. Wolfie's still staying alive. Osmos able to get one. Brochacho able to get one. And now Wolfie's going to go down. Cyclone Spin finding one. Can he find more? Hurwin hanging out in the back. The card's going to be applied. Osmos has to be careful.
Heal coming through. Needs the Celestial Beam. Going to find it. Unique will fall. Fusion if he's still alive. There goes the Nimble Strike. The Incense. The hit, and they find it. Osmos is here, but it is Kali's target. Here comes a free heal. Cyclone Spin's got to go in this one. There goes the Book of Demons. Still trying to find it. The Lash will secure it. And free heal comes up, and they could do another two-man Gold Fury.
What did we just watch? Wolfie and the guys of Thurst did so well that entire team fight until the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like a focusing problem, but this is a two-man.
Well, I think the major thing.
Two-man fire giant.
Yeah, they're going to go for it, and I like the choice. I respect it. I think the big issue for them in that last fight was a Recon went into the very back and died by himself. He had no damage contribution to that fight. He's going to be up in the air here looking to dunk down. This could be a big loss. Does he want to fight? He's going to go for Hurwin. There goes the Root. There goes the Mysterious Fog. Can they turn around and get the kill? Looking for the follow-up. There goes the Lash. Recon's got to get out. Turn back on the Fire Giant. Recon's still here. Too low to go in. Does he have a Hog 3? Looks like he does have it available, and that's going to secure it, and it's all she wrote for the Fire Giant.
Well, the Chunks might be coming back on in on this one. Keep in mind, there's a chance, buddy. There's a chance. There's always a chance.
Samshrew and Unique respawned right when it died, and they all have Fire Giant now.
Hey,
this is huge.
That's perfect timing. And when you take a look at the charts, there's not a whole lot of difference. In fact, the Chunks are actually ahead in experience.
23,000 damage, player damage done here by Hurwin. We got Samshrew dropping out 15,000 himself. 20,000 damage out by Cyclone Spin. So they have a wonderful chance right here. Checking the charts, they're already in the lead. They haven't been in the lead in almost the entire game, really. It's been Thurst's game so far, but now we see a slight lead, which plus the Fire Giant means they have an easy chance at winning this next team fight.
It's not every day that you see Apollo having the most time spent dead.
It's hard. I mean, Recon's been making a lot of greedy choices and going into the fight first, which means that he's not leaving his team enough time to get there and initiate the fight on top of him. The Gold Fury is going to drop here to Chunks. I would imagine this one is going to be free and dead to rights. But just checking back in on a Cyclone Spin, it's going to be Ikval.
Yeah, Ikval. And you know what's weird about these two teams is how low the gold per minute is right now. We only have 3 people over 400 gold per minute, which is like, what?
Is that a Spirit Robe?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Is that still in the game?
I haven't seen that since 1963.
That's a long time.
I think it's a pretty good idea. Why not?
That's still in the game? What?
I guess maybe people decide to check out the item store.
I guess. Maybe they were typing S for Soul Reaper and found Spirit Robe on accident? I don't know. Fusion OP gonna pop each damage to avoid the damage there. Aurora gonna turn around on Brochacho. There goes the dunk from Wolfie, gonna find one. Cyclone Spin trying to get out of the fight here. Big damage coming out. The Lash is landing down. Recon's in the fight here. Now the rotation come through. Cyclone Spin should fall shortly. If he gets the target, it's a big kill for him. He's trying to get it, can't get it. Wolfie gets the kill on Cyclone Spin. Aurora gonna get the kill with a Shockwave as they look for the follow-up, and they're gonna find Osmos.
Well, Samshrew was able to find one. He did a decent amount of damage there with his I Am a Monster, but he was unable to get a kill. If he would have gotten just one kill, he would have reset, and he would have gone in. He would have went in on that.
Yeah, he needed that kill so bad.
They do have Fire Giant as well. Keep that in mind. And without having a traditional Hunter, they're going to have a hard time taking down the Phoenixes, so they have to rely on a team fight.
Well, at this point, their Hunter presence is going to be Cyclone Spin and Unique together. Cyclone Spin is actually disconnected from the game at this point. 30 seconds on his response. They're just going to play through it. Now, remember, they can't pause during any action or anything that causes anyone to go into combat, as the new ruling has come through. Cyclone Spin is going to be up in 15 seconds. They may pause it if he's not back by the time he respawns here, but it looks like they're pretty calm about it.
Yeah, I think they're all kind of just
except he's in the whoa.
Well, what's that? What do you know?
I see his target in the left lane, but he's not there. I guess he's just invisible.
It's his ghost. It's the ghost of Cyclone Spin. Just Kali's haunting everyone.
Oh, he joined the game right as he respawned. What timing?
Hey, sometimes you get it. That's going to be a Rage going in on Kali as well. Titans into a Hydras here for Loki as well. Very, very standard. Most likely going to be selling off that Bumbas to get the Deathbringer next. And then he will be a tank, a beast. He will be Sylvester Stallone in the movies Rambo.
You know, what would make him cooler is if they put him into some kind of robe, probably made of spirits. Unique's going to go for a Hydra's Lament, actually, which is rather uncommon for people to finish the Hydra Star. Generally, they just pick up the Hydra Star for the CDR and end up selling it later for the passive. But he's actually going to finish off the Hydra's Lament. And honestly, you know, you can respect it, right? Because he's just looking for that pick. If they get a big pick, especially if that's allowing Cyclone Spin to get his target killed, that means that they're that much better at the team fight. Looking for the damage on Fusion OP, going to force him away. Roar coming through. There goes the Blink. There goes the ultimate. They're putting everything in on this.
That's
Each able to avoid the fire shards. Thor going to miss his ultimate here as the fight continues.
Yeah, and Thor's going to continue. Searing Pain's going to miss everyone there on Fusion OP. Apollo's going to be chasing in on his Chariot, so they realize that that tower is going to be taken out. So now he's going to go in the back lines, and Unique, this is the player you want to watch. He is basically can do so much damage right now. He can just go invisible and really just catch them all off guard, and he's going to grab this speed buff here and just really just wait as his team pushes up. Very, very good plays.
They're going to be going for the movement speed buff here. Unique's going to pick it up and have that for his name. They're going to go for this right side tier 2 tower, which will be dropping shortly unless Thurst can find some kind of gain here. A lot of damage potential from Chunks. I think Thurst is really feeling it. With the Thor ultimate down, it means they don't have a whole lot of follow-up.
Here comes the pokes. Pokes are here, and keep in mind the Fire Giant is already offline. The buff only lasts for 4 minutes. They are going to be able to take this right tower, though, but if they win it, they want this team fight because if they get even 1 or 2 kills, that means they're going to get this next Fire Giant, and you can see that's exactly where all eyes are focused to. I hope this is a bait because it'll catch Thirst completely off guard.
Well, the Fire Giant's being started up here by Chunks. Thirst is on their way over, and with a Roar not in the pit, it means that they don't really have a chance to secure. They're going to leash off of it. Looking for a possible pick here. Very slowly looking to pick their target properly. There's the wall for Unique. Damage on Recon. There's the Incense. Pop the Purification Beats. That cooldown is now wasted. Won't have it for the next engagement. Nice poke there from Chunks, and looks like Thirst is just really biding their time.
Yeah, and I think Chunks just wants to get this started and get it going. I mean, they do have Gab. He's got Cataclysm online. If things get a little bit dicey, he can always do that. To really just start everything here, but in comes the members of Thirst. They're seeing it started up. Will there be a steal? There won't be. We are seeing Fat Chunks secure it. No escape's going to grab a couple people, and Osmos is able to get a double kill. And now Samshoot's going to take the I'm a Monster, misses by just a little bit there, and now he is in a world of trouble.
Still looking for the damage, not going to find it. Osmos was going to triple kill there. Turning back around, Cyclone Spin will find Bro. Tries with the second kill up the fight for him. Heroin will find Recon. Wolfie check out of the fight, trying to get Heroin. There's the hammer. Can he get it? He's going to swing that and blocks the escape there. Jumping over the wall is going to be Cyclone Spin. Looking for Wolfie. Going to find it. Looking for Osmos. The slow is ticking down. That's a long slow.
It really is.
Nimble strike. Nimble strike. Nimble strike.
Yep, and Osmos. Oh, okay, Osmos. I see you with
and
the
play. And a slow again.
Turn around, hit that exorcism. Oh, Cyclone Spin's so mad. Look at him. He's like, how dare you hit me with another slow?
Well, that's a long time, and he's going to be able to get away from this one. Osmos will happily be jumping back to his base. Nice pickup from Cyclone Spin, but I think the one thing you can take away from this, Gandhi, is the fact that this was a 4-for-4 exchange, even though we have nearly a 10,000 gold lead prior to that fight for Chunks.
Which is tough, right? Because that just means Thirst has a way better teamwork. Way better teamwork. And when you do the gold per minute, finally a couple more players getting over the 400 mark, which is really big. But the gold in hand, Geb had 1,800. So let's see what he was able to buy there. He actually went with a Witchblade.
Well, I think if Unique subbed out that Hydra's Lament for something like crit earlier, he would be able to get a lot more kills here. Because that Hydra's Lament on cooldown for a long time, the burst does not really counteract the gold or the damage he would have gotten from a crit. I also think that jumping over the wall and Cyclone Spin really looking for the target was good, but he also Chunks split themselves too hard and took a lot of damage from the Fire Giant for that process. Now you're gonna have one person in the entire game have a Fire Giant buff. Currently, it's gonna be Mr. Cyclone Spin. He's got that regeneration of mana and HP plus more physical power to his name, movement speed buff also in his roster. So he's looking to get really close. There's the insights. There's a crit. There's the damage, and that's the power of a late game Kali.
They wasted no time there. Oh, Jiminy Cricket. Thor's going to be on the right side. That's going to be Wolfie and Chunks. They have the lead. They started off a little bit shaky. They seem to be pushing down this Phoenix. This should be one. And Kali wastes no time trying to hit the stun. She was unable to do so. So now the attention turns back. And Sam, look at my little Samshrew. 13 years old, just living on love.
What?
I have no idea.
Dunk from Wolfie gets rid of the ground there by Samshrew. AoE damage coming through. He's got no I'm a Monster available. 3-man Ares ultimate. Can it pull? It will pull. Damage coming down on top of that one. There goes Brochacho backing away from the fight, but they're looking for Recon. They're gonna find it. They're on top. Brochacho back to the base. Can he survive? Looks like he will indeed, but Cyclone Spin's diving the well. That's a scary place, Cyclone Spin. That is not a happy place.
Oh,
That's not a happy place. The well hurts a lot.
What are they doing? Brochacho coming up clutch with that big double kill there. What is... What?
I don't have words for this. I don't have words for this.
Not... It's like, okay, I know my teammate jumped in there and he died. So that means I'm going to try it and see if I die.
Well...
Like, I imagine that's like... like how the Neanderthals tested, like, fire, right? They were like, oh, it's hot. Maybe it's not hot this time.
It's electric fence in the monkey. The monkey just keeps grabbing it every time it shocks him. But
oh, well, the monkey eventually gets conditioned. If they're not conditioned at this point, I think they don't know it does damage.
well, you know, maybe they're thinking that this is, you know, in the bag, right? They've got 10,000 gold in the lead. They have a late game team. You know, you can see that Cyclone Spin, and again, Kali just keeps getting better and better as the game goes on. And so Cyclone Spin will continue to just climb the charts. And, you know, he's got his physical potion ready to go. He has to start picking up elixirs, and he's just so scary with that finished build right now. He can even sell that Iqbal at one point and pick up something like an Oboe or really almost anything he wants, really. And the damage is going to keep growing and growing. You got Unique can sell off that Hydra's Lament if he so feels. He can even sell off that Heartseeker, which hasn't been stacked all game long. He's been hovering around 20 to 30 stacks the entire game, as of course he does have 7 deaths, which means that we will reset every time he drops that death. We're going to see a very strong build come out from both mages, so I think they're thinking, guys, we're ahead, we have a late game team, this is our moment to shine, let's fire in the Fire Giant.
Well, Samshrew burns the I'm a Monster on Wolfie there. He was able to Aegis that one. Aurora's going to be all up in the middle. The Cataclysm's going to hit a couple. Herwin now. He could be in trouble. Cyclone Spin's going to be here.
Spin.
Eyes on you. You have done so much damage already. Wolfie, you're in trouble, buddy. He's going to keep chasing Wolfie down. Recon's going to get taken out. Cyclone Spin's going to get one. Fusion OP. You're next, buddy. And taking a look at the player damage here, Kali has officially done 40,000 player damage and counting. That's the Fire Giant. If they want it, I think they're going to go directly for the end.
This right now...
40,000. 40,000 player damage.
This right now is why people want Kali to work. Because when you get to late game, it is so hard to say, man, this isn't fun. Right? Because you're going through and you're destroying everyone. You're swinging blade after blade after blade. You've got a big AoE stun, lots of lifesteal ultimate that makes you immune to death, and you can just slaughter droves of people that come in your way. Look at this stun. Look at the lash coming out, and the burst damage is going to be way. They can kill him before he gets to the well. I mean, this is why Kali is so popular, even though she's so hard to make her work in the early stages of the game. She's going to shred through that Titan. Chunks will find their victory here. The Fat Chunks have assembled on top of the grave of the Titan, and Thurst will fall down 34-30. This was a 64-kill game, and what a fantastic match it was to watch. Some things being adjusted around there, and for the last match they will be playing in the SPL, why not go out with a bang?
Well, the thing about Thurst is I think that was the best game Wolfie can possibly play, and they still threw it away. There's no mid-game transition. We saw Thor get an early shifter shield at around the 16-minute mark, and they weren't able to do anything with it.
Well, he also went into a Void Shield, which generally, if you're going to make the choice, you choose between the Void Shield and the Shifter Shield. Void Shield, of course, gives you more penetration if you have a lot of physical damage on your team. So he's really picking up that Void Shield just to help Apollo do more damage, which he wasn't that fed anyway. I would like to see him replace that Void Shield with maybe some crit, or maybe get the Titan's Bane a little bit earlier. But, you know, as far as the atomization goes, it seemed like they had more focus on utility, which after a while falls off hard. You need to start building damage at some point, and I would like to see them kind of shift that way, but you can see the damage overall really reflects that. Kali dropping a stout 42,000 damage. We've got 43,000 damage on Herwin, but, you know, this game was Thirst's game for a while, until Cyclone Spin became a thing. Yeah, Kali is scary.
Yeah, Cyclone Spin became a thing, and it pretty much happened right here at the Fire Giant. This is the strength. Right? It was just all about it. You know, you can just see, look how much damage Cyclone Spin's doing. He's all up in the action. He's just can shred everyone. 4 arms, no problem. He's just a piece. He's just a nightmare.
There's the jump over, nimble strike, and a follow through. There goes the kill, and he just keeps jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping at targets and swinging his blades so fast. And look for the slow, of course. He's trying to get away, but he just can throw the lash, and the lash will kill him. I mean, the damage over time effect itself is something you can even look at. Right? You're looking at it saying, I can throw this lash. If I hit all 3 blades, that person's going to take a third of their HP for free, and it's going to heal me because reasons.
Yeah, I know. And Fusion OP only healed for 5,000 with Ra.
Only.
Yeah, only. Which is like.
It's raw.
In a 37-minute game, it's normally a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this really shows what Trunks can do, right? They had a very non-conventional lineup.
Yep.
But at the end of the game, 15, 4, and 13 there for Cyclone Spin. We saw Samsher in the long lane, 4, 7, and 12, but dropped about 21,000 damage himself. Herwin in the mid lane, 4, 6, and 22. With that ultimate, was able to drop out 43,000 damage, which is the most in the game. So, what are we looking at for standings?
Well, we have one more game. DB, we have one more game, and basically what ends up happening here is if Dignitas loses this game to Cognitive Prime, they will be tied with Snipe, and that game will not be coming up today. That'll be coming up next week. Oh, it will. It will. If it does happen,
we found Snipe.
We could have it. So we're going to go ahead and hop to a quick break. When we come back, we will have Dignitas taking on Cog Prime. Stay tuned.